A Nightmare on Elm Street is directed by Samuel Bayer. This is a crime, drama, horror, slasher movie. This film is a reboot movie. The film was initially supposed to be a restart of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise all over again. The film stars Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy Krueger, Rooney Mara as Nancy Holbrook, Kyle Gallner as Quentin Smith, Katie Cassidy as Chris Fowles, Kellen Lutz as Dean Russell, Leah Mortensen as Nora Fowles, Thomas Decker as Jesse Braun, and Connie Britton as Dr. Gwen Holbrook. This film is rated R for strong, bloody horror violence, disturbing images, terror, and language. This movie is most definitely not for children. I would say 18 years of age or older. The movie has a runtime of 1 hour and 35 minutes. A Nightmare on Elm Street was released in theaters in the United States on Friday, April 30th, 2010. So, a little bit of information about this movie and myself. This movie came out during my last year of college when I was an undergrad at Texas Tech University in Lubbock, Texas. I'd had a long, hard week of classes and studying, plus I had a big exam in one of my math classes that I'd studied my butt off for and pulled a few all-nighters during the week. I took the exam and found out that I passed, and so I decided I was going to treat myself that Friday night, which was the opening day for the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot film. And I was really wanting to see it and was looking forward to it, so I went to the theaters, yes, more than one, and I did not get to see it at all that night because every theater in Lubbock was sold out for the shows all weekend long. I was so bummed out, but I did find some time later on and saw it in theaters the following week. Several teenage high school students who go to school at Springwood High School in Springwood, Ohio, start dying off one by one. They all share similar things, such as their dreams, which are really nightmares. When the kids dream, the dreams are just dreams at first, but they soon turn into horrible nightmares. When asleep, they are hunted in their dreams by a man who is horribly burned, especially on his face. The man also wears a red and green sweater and wears a special glove on his right hand that has knives on the fingertips of the glove, except for the thumb. His name is Freddy Krueger, and his favorite person to terrorize is Nancy Holbrook, who he calls his little Nancy. As more and more kids are dying, Nancy and her friend Quentin must work together fast before falling asleep and becoming Freddy's next victims. Here are my negatives for this film. The Freddy makeup could have been better. I understand they were going for a real burn victim look. Most of it was okay, but the green screen CGI parts of his facial makeup was the part that looked really, really terrible on screen. The characters were okay. I just wish we would have seen more interaction between all the characters, especially the teenagers. They didn't build up the characters enough for me. The story was good, but I felt it could have been better and kind of lagged in some places. I wish they would have focused more on the fact that he was a child murderer and not a child molester. To me, they could have left that part out. So, that's it for my negatives. Here are my positives for this film. The casting for this film was awesome. Jackie Earle Haley is awesome as Freddy Krueger. He wasn't at all copying what Robert Englund did. He brought his own thing to it, and I thought at times Jackie Earle Haley's Freddy Krueger was way more scary and menacing than Englund's portrayal of the character. But I still really love Englund as Freddy as well. The mixture of both CGI and practical effects was really amazing, especially during the scene where Nancy goes into the pharmacy store after Quentin. The introduction of the micronaps was great, and I thought it really brought the terror to a whole new level in this film. Freddy's one-liners in this film were more menacing than they were funny, but some of them were funny, but most of them were just downright scary. The acting was great by all the actors. The music by Steve Jablonsky was awesome, very scary sounding, and sometimes mysterious sounding. He sort of brought his own themes to this film. We only hear a small short cue of the Nightmare on Elm Street theme from the original Charles Bernstein score from the 1984 film, and that was when the title card dropped at the beginning of the film. I wish we would have heard it a few more times within the film instead of just this one time. That was disappointing to me. Okay, those are my positives, so now it's grading time. I'm going to give the 2010 remake reboot film A Nightmare on Elm Street a B+. Here are my final thoughts. This is a wonderful suspense horror slasher film. I know I'm going to get crap for saying this, but I do like the movie, even with the problems it has. It is still a pretty decent reboot film, but the original Nightmare on Elm Street film by Wes Craven is still the best. But this one is not as bad as some people say it is. If you haven't seen this film and you love Freddy, then you need to give it a try, at least once. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Some people were, I wasn't. I do already own this film, both on DVD and Blu-ray. This movie is not great, but it is good. I always enjoy watching this movie, and if you are a fan of the Nightmare movies, then I think you will enjoy this one as well. That's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to say good night. God bless. I love all of you. I will see you all in the next video, and remember, don't fall asleep.
It hurts, doesn't it? It's because you're in my world now, bitch.